Welcome to A Woman's Brew, where women talk about beer. In today's episode, Merakai shares some miraculous news worth crowding for. I'm Joanne, and this is Tori.
Hello, hello.
And we're two beer-loving women on a mission to get more people drinking and talking about great beer. Come join us. Well, it's time. It's time that we had our most visited guest back, our best friend, Emma from Merakai. How are you? It has been too long.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you want to say how long it's been.
Go on, Tori.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, your last episode was January 2023.
I can't,
3 years. That's horrendous.
I can't believe
When
that.
I looked
I
at the
just
date,
want to
I was
make it clear that we've
shocked.
spoken since then. It's not like we
have.
haven't kept in touch or seen each other since like 3 years, and I just pop up whenever. But yeah, no, I can't believe that. And the recurring guests that you've had on since, I just needed to kind of like make sure I'm keeping that title of most
Stake
frequent
your claim.
guest. Because you
need
nobody
to
else,
stay
like
top.
I just can't. It's not happening.
Kate's creeping up there.
I was
but
decked
we're
You
not
know
having
who
it.
you are. You know who you are. You're not coming for my crown.
I was decked
They know
out
who
in
they
all
are.
my gear. I had my hat on. I had my Merakai hat on, but it was way too hot. I've got a Merakai t-shirt on. I was like, just put all of it on for you, like. And then it got really hot, so I took the hat off. Just FYI.
I mean, that's fine.
too
You like
warm.
wearing layers, you can kind of take it off. I'm glad you're repping because the only branded thing I have is basically like our glass, pretty much. Like that's it.
That's the best glass, though.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
no.
decided to have my first beer out of that glass because this was the first one. This was like the first piece of merch that I think I got from you guys, and this was like your first set of glasses, wasn't
Yeah.
it? And I remember
know.
being like, I love this glass. The shape was amazing. All of it was just perfect.
It was a faff though because it's Riedel, so we had to order it through Austria, and it was like over 1,000 glasses, and it was a perilous journey from Austria all the way here through the borders, and then they basically dropped a pallet of glasses off. So this is very boring. On the side of the street, so they didn't even deliver to the brewery. They delivered like to our home address. So it like took me such a long time to get this huge pallet of glasses off. But yes, they're very effective and beautiful. But it was like, yeah, we might do it again, but it's very expensive.
As Joe said, to call out the fact that, you know, it's been quite a while, catch us up to speed. So for anyone that's not, you know, familiar, if you've just, as we were saying earlier, as Joe said earlier, rude, if you're not caught up to speed with who Merakai is, explain who is Merakai and what's been happening since the last time you were on in January.
Okay, so we are a small, independently owned craft brewery. We are essentially all about inclusivity, and everybody is welcome into craft beer. And we make our beers as easily accessible as possible. And ultimately, kind of our ethos is crafted through purpose. So everything we do like has a reason behind it. So there's myself, Emma. And then there's my husband and better half, Oliver, or Olly the brewer, who's got a bit of a history in brewing. So he and I started the brewery during the pandemic. So that was a fun time. So we've been around since 2020. And then I think the last time we obviously spoke here on the podcast, we were we were launching our crowdfunder for our bar, which we opened, and we've been alive like for nearly 3 years now in Worthing. So that's all going well, like beers direct to consumer, fresh through tap. And also like other news from kind of like our brewery. So when we first started off, we had a big brewery in Uckfield. Well, I say big, it kind of like wasn't like commercially massive, but it was significant enough. It was a 10-barrel brewery, which basically means that we produced like 2,000 litres beer every time we brewed. We had like quite a large setup there. And then as times kind of like progressed, things have gotten hard, supply chains, kind of like conflict, costs, utilities, everything, through the roof, ingredients, like what have you. Gradually over time, what we've done is we've changed our business model. So we've kind of, again, sorry, this sounds really boring, but we took the decision to kind of scale back over time so we could actually be commercially viable because, like a serious note, getting into craft beer, like from a brewery's perspective, is like a pretty low barrier to entry. Like it really is, but it's actually like everything that comes along with it is, yeah, when you kind of like go big for the first time, like the consumer demands and what you have to churn out, it's just like if you're not gonna employ more people or it's cost prohibitive, then you either kind of close or you downsize, like we've done. So everything is nicely in the brewery at the moment. We just moved our kit in like a couple of months ago, and then Oliver brewed his first beer like about a month ago, and that's like a really gorgeous little bitter that came out a couple of weeks ago. So that's delicious. So yeah, that's kind of like a potted history of who we are, what we've done, and then like where we are now, basically. Resilience, I think, is kind of like the word that I would use for our little brewery. It's definitely kind of like had to be resilient in order to get to where we are now, basically. And hopefully we're on some
Absolutely.
stable footing.
I think that's a really important conversation to have and story to tell. Like, people that aren't working in breweries but like beer don't necessarily know that these are the decisions that breweries have got to make. Like, and I mean, you and I have had these conversations as well about like what success looks like. And I think for a long time, there was really this, success in craft beer meant you were putting out loads and loads of beer. You were in supermarkets, you had loads of bars, and this, you can world dominate, blah, blah, blah. And I think some breweries have come to the realization already. Some businesses have come to these that actually maybe that isn't success for everybody. And really, you've got to look at what do you want from your life and what you want, and then you've got to make the decisions. And I we became your friends through this podcast, which we're very thankful for. I'm talking for Victoria and I both together, but I know that I can talk for her as well. Like, we're very thankful that we met you through this. We've got to drink your delicious beer and be hopefully be a little bit part of your story. But we're really glad that you're still here, and you've had to make some hard decisions, but we're very proud of you for doing that and continuing to be there. Like, the bar is beautiful. Whenever I can come and visit, I love doing it, and everyone should go to Worthing and visit the tap room because it is amazing. And come and drink your delicious beer whenever they can.
We were just there for the International Women's Collaboration Brew Day that you hosted, and like when I walked in as well, I was just like, I just loved it. Like when we were talking about spaces and like spaces where women felt comfortable in, and all these other like tap rooms that you go to and stuff, I was just like, I like your space because it just makes me feel like, it just has the vibe of what I really enjoy being in general. Like just the way it's very light, like it's a bright space. It's set up in just such a way that I kind of prefer that to like, I sometimes I think with this idea of kind of what you were saying, Joe, of like world domination from a craft brewery is like, that's what was seen as success. And like, I actually feel like I really like that smaller movement as well. Like I love that you guys have that kit in the space as well now. Like it's just really cool, and I feel like that just adds even more authenticity to the story, that people can see like I'm sat here in this really amazing, lovely, warm, welcoming, bright space that I can feel comfortable and at home, and my beer is being brewed literally right over there. And I think that's just really cool. But yeah, Joe, you summarized it a lot more eloquently than I did.
I really appreciate you both, and as I said, like thanks for your support, and it was wonderful like to have you at the International Women's Collaboration Brew Day, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But I just kind of like I was going to say, I was like last time I came on, I talked about our bar being like the armpit of Pizza Express. To add to that kind of like gorgeous like lexicon, like vocabulary, whatever you want to call it, I oftentimes say, and this like it's really gross, but oftentimes I'm kind of like saying that from teach to tap, so it's like straight from the kind of like
Yeah, I love
The
it.
steel, yeah, but it's not great, is it? Teat to tap.
It's that
But
farm
yeah,
to table,
it's,
isn't it? Like the farm to table
farm to
experience.
table. Teat to tap. That's exactly what it is, and it does have. I think that in an ideal world, like, you know, with hindsight, possibly like starting off like how we are now would have been like the best, you know, like way to do things. But the kind of lived experience of knowing what it's like to just go for it, set up a brewery, and then like, not that we didn't do any due diligence, but I kind of like feel like once we were in it, certainly like the production kind of element of it was like a little bit of a surprise in terms of like consumer demand and what we had to churn out all the time. It's like, it's, you know,
Yeah.
it really is kind of really is no joke, and you've got to have a high level of investment, and there is a certain kind of threshold that you need to basically achieve to sustain at that level. And it was like, yeah, it was really hard going, but I think we're at a place where both of us are comfortable, and because everything kind of like is in its space, it allows, like, you know, Oliver, particularly like day to day, to just be in kind of like one environment, which is really important, but also to add to that authenticity and give you know, give our community the opportunity to like either take part in some brew days or see some beer kind of being done, or get to enjoy it like just, you know, like straight from tea to tap. It just, I don't know why I said that. Yeah.
I feel
So
like
it's,
when you first talked about the
doesn't get
armpit of
pressure.
Pizza Express, it's just so funny because that's always what's in my, like, I feel like every time I go there I'm like, oh, just heading to the armpit of Pizza. Like it's not that the visual that you get, but also it sticks in my head because it just sounds so amazing to just be like, yeah, they're in the armpit of Pizza Express.
But as you said, it's a lovely little
of mine.
space. It's a lovely little space, and I think that, yeah, for the International Women's Collaboration Brew Day, which is the beer espresso for my
I'm so glad
depresso,
you've got
that
it.
Joanne and Tori came down to brew, and also like massive shout out to Joanne. So like everybody, Joanne kind of like pretty much saved my ass on that day by providing like
No.
a very kind of like high level of content and just beery education. So I want to say, like, again, massive thank you for that.
My favorite was when you were
it's
like, okay, we're
massive
going to do a
shout out.
tasting class now. And I was like, oh, I'm doing that too. Okay, cool. Like, I can
Yeah.
just pull it out. I just whip it
Yeah.
out nowadays. I just whip it out. Keeps my
Yeah.
hand in.
Teaching people how to kind of like taste beer and everything. I feel like everybody there learned something, so we appreciate that.
Cool.
You made an amazing shandy as well.
Yeah, you
like
did.
the shandy that you made with your whip beer was like so good.
Oh
And I
no,
feel
that
like
was
if
a
I tried to make
Radler.
that, oh, Radler, yeah.
Radler,
I feel
yeah.
like if I tried to make that at home, I wouldn't be able to do it. I just feel like
know
it
you
would
could.
just like it was so tasty, so tasty.
you could.
I could have
Yeah.
had so many of those.
Yeah, so it's whip beer. So it's the whip beer that we've got, and then San Pellegrino, like orange, and just mix them, and it's just delicious. Really, really good. And
What's
also the
the,
whiskey and wort.
What's the
That was good.
sizes?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, we
God,
whiskey
yeah.
and wort
That was
as well.
that
so
was
good.
my first time having that, so that was
Thanks,
great.
Dave,
So
yeah.
I'd never had that before, and my first time actually making a stout, because I think we've made a porter before, but not
Yeah.
like a. It was a first tick list for a stout, so that was exciting
Yeah.
firsts for me, I think.
Good. Yeah, it's a good one. And yeah, I'm really kind of getting like, it's very caramel. Yeah, it's very caramel now. I've let it kind of like sit for a little bit, and it's like really kind of smooth and coffee and chocolatey. And I think that's just down to, we added some coffee to it, which is like exceptional, and also like the grain bill that Oliver had. Oh, and a vanilla as well. He's just shouting at me, we added vanilla. Like, yeah, okay. I didn't see that bit, but it was it was a good fun day. Thank you very much for taking part.
Of course.
As the time of the recording of this, or as the time of the release of this, are people able to buy this yet, or has it?
Yeah,
not
no,
come
they
out
can absolutely buy it. So it'll be on our web shop, and then there'll be like a few retailers that are kind of picking it up locally, and then just I've got a kind of like note here to remind me like what to say. But as part of the International Women's Collaboration Brew Day, they kind of say that, you know, like ideally a portion of revenue that you sell, you know, will go to support a charity. So we've got 10% of our profits from this beer basically kind of going to two charities. So Safe in Sussex, and then notaffairs.org as well. So they'll be kind of like the money will be splitting that evenly and equally. I don't know whether we can kind of like really talk about that though, because when you give donations, it's not like probably be giving it personally rather than kind of like from the beer.
Yeah.
Because normally for beer and charities, it's like when we worked with Mind, we have to raise a raffle, and kind of there were just a few things around giving money from beer, but that's our intention anyway, to support charities as well with the sale of this beer, because it's important.
Yeah.
In terms of like your actual space, oh, go ahead, Jo.
No, I mean, having worked in charities, I think we've had this conversation before. Like, I worked for a homelessness charity, and we had a large local brewery who used to support us. Like, even just like we'd do a charity run, and they would support the charity run, and we'd have people on social media being like, "Oh, why is a brewery supporting your charity?" Like, people would complain, not even like people would complain that they were supporting us, which I feel is strange, because, you know, any support to a charity should be good, but yeah, you have to be so careful with it because of contact. Like with homelessness, any sort of link to alcoholism or alcohol is an issue, so we have to be really careful about it. So it is, and like always, my top tip for when you want to support a charity is to like check with the charity first and like check what they want, because we'd often get donations of things that were not so useful. Charities like money, just as a because then they can use it for various different things. just as a heads up, everybody. But yeah, when you're charitable giving, check what they want.
Yeah, so that is our intention. I've actually got to kind of reach out to them just to make sure it's okay. Fingers crossed it'll be fine. But yeah, no, important for us to give back. And even if it wasn't a requirement for the International Women's Collaboration Brew Day, you just like, you know, with a beer like that, because it's kind of, you know, such an event to bring everyone together, it just seems like, you know, like something that you have to do, really. And it's important to us to try and do that when we can.
I think that's the one thing, like for me as well, with you guys, of like, this is what initially, before I even knew you guys, and I just saw like this, we've talked about this so many times, but just saw like the Instagram post that like popped up that's like, new brewery, check them out. And I saw like the artwork, and I was like, the artwork's really cool. And then I started reading, and it was all about like the community aspect of like the community you wanted to build and harness, like everyone kind of pulling in that same direction of doing good things and being good people and just caring about each other, and literally just community. Like, if I were to summarize Merakai from my perspective, like, it has always been, in one word, it's always been community. And so that's the thing that I think, like, I'm not shocked about you saying like we would have done that anyways, even if that wasn't sort of a recommendation, because you guys are always on that forefront of like, you know, leading with the community aspects and building the community element, and like even the stuff that you do at the tasting room, like that, again, that it just feels like that's more community building and, you know, networking as well. So like, obviously we can talk about this in a minute if you want to, but I know like you've got like bar snacks that come from like another business. You've had, you know, the cakes, the cake
Pastry
Palooza,
sort of
the Pastry Palooza.
I love Pastry Palooza.
Like all of those. I want to talk about like the events you guys do at the tasting room and all that. Because when I was there, I was like, this place is so cool. It makes me feel like I'm back in Japan, which is obviously what I love. So it's very much my vibe. You guys should have like a DJ, and you were like, we did, or we had it last weekend. And I was like, well, what? So your events are like awesome as well. And I think like that is, again, all rooted so much around community. So you very much feel that from you both.
I think from our perspective, having the bar and just being able to be somewhere where people can come in and kind of have that experience with like friends or even make new friends. Like the amount of times that people have come in drinking on their own, or you've had like, maybe two or three people, and then they'll kind of like start chatting to two or three more people, and then they'll just connect with each other like outside of the bar is like it's such a lovely thing to see. And then the sorts of things that have happened in our tasting room where people like have experienced like joy and celebrations with each other, but also like, in some instances, like some really kind of bad news for them. But just the fact that we're a kind of space that exists for that, it just gives me like absolute joy when I'm working behind the bar, because I only do Sundays. Oliver does like Thursday through to Saturday because I have like other commitments as well. So yeah, I kind of like trying to do it all. But it's just like an absolute joy to connect with people. And then obviously, like you talked about events, so what we've got coming up, which is a big initiative in Worthing that we take part in, which is the Worthing Tap Takeover. So that's kind of happening second weekend in April. So that's amazing. There's like 20 venues, and we all have like a tap takeover of different beers and breweries, like obviously supporting our peers there because we can't have our own beer on. Boo. And then, yeah, the event that's just for us is Pastry Palooza, which kind of normally happens like October, November, where it is like, yeah, a small number of like venues, so not as large as Worthing Tap Takeover, but like a smaller number of venues that just have a more diverse kind of like interesting lineup of beers. So it's not just about pale ales, it's kind of like about pastry kind of beers and fruited beers and things like that, which is, just what we live for and what we enjoy the most. So it's a really good vibe when we do it. And as I said, when we kind of like we've got everything sorted in the brewery and upgraded the bar, which we hope to do with like our crowdfunder, that just like lends itself to more kind of community engagement than what we've been able to do before, I think. So just really looking forward to the future and everything that we've got in store for the tasting room, which we think we're changing its name to, because everyone calls it like Merakai anyway, so we might just change it to Merakai Brewing at the tasting room, or just Merakai Brewing Tap Room, because that's what everybody calls it. So
Yeah,
that
people are
I'll just
lazy.
change it to that.
Like,
Yeah.
just, yeah.
Give the people what they want,
Yeah.
change it. No, I was trying to be like the tasting room. You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
come in, you can kind of taste your beers, because the thing is that people kind of like don't realize. And I know this is commonplace in like most craft bars anyway, but for some people when they come into our place and they're kind of looking at the board and they're not quite sure, like me or Oliver would just like guide them through the board, talk to them about how we brewed it, kind of, everything that's in it. And then I'll, just say, do you want to try some? Like, what? I'm like, yeah, just kind
Yeah.
of like just try and see, what you like and what you want to drink. And people are normally like, oh, you let me try before I buy it. And it's like, yeah, like it's a good way to kind of like maybe stretch your thinking if you quite need to try craft beer, just to try something, a little bit different.
I know that there's so many people, like not so many people like that I know personally, but like when you go on like Reddit or social media, like there's so many places where it's so controversial about giving tastings of things. And that's what I always find wild, especially when you talk about like accessibility, which again brings it back to the point about community of like, again, like I've always seen with the actions you guys take, it is always a point of what is going to be accessible, what is going to be, good for the community. And like tasting that is an accessibility thing, because like you said, like somebody might go, oh, I've never had that, that sounds weird, I don't like it, and then you give them a sip of it and it's not what they have, that preconceived notion in their brain of that unconscious bias of what they thought it was going to be, and then they're like, oh, actually I really like this, I would like to drink that, please. And then they might be more open in future, whether it's at your business or another business,
Yeah.
to take that step again to try something. And like, what do you lose by saying, okay, have a bit of it, see what you think? Like, I think, I know the argument is usually like, oh, but it takes so much longer to serve it. But then it's like, do you want to, I always find that I don't work in hospitality, so I can't really comment there. But with the work I do, quickest isn't always the best experience. So sometimes it's like, if you really want to connect with people, like just rushing someone through something to get through is not always going to give them that best experience. It's not necessarily going to give you that repeat customer. So I think that you should keep the name The Tasting Room, like that plaque that you've got in the front, and you should still keep it behind the bar just as like posterity.
Yeah, no, we will, and but the ethos will obviously, stay the same, and the amount of people that we've had through the doors who are normally like not craft beer drinkers, and they might come in with someone who's like really into craft beer and be quite intimidated by it, like, to go back to your point, do try and make it as accessible for people, not to kind of like push the, like product on them, but it's like want to try and kind of like get them into the community and make them like, perhaps like think slightly differently for beer and actually be like a visible advocate for beer, which is really important. And obviously it helps that Oliver brews it as well. So, and we know the product inside and out, and we know the quality of it. So, like that helps. So spreading it out to as many people as possible is great.
And I've come with friends. I've come with Tori. I've come with friends. I've come with Gordon, and I've like come on my own to the tap room and like to the tasting room, and like I think it was the last Pastry Palooza. I was like, right, I'm just gonna go. I was messaging Tori on the day, and I was like, there's gonna be a pumpkin beer on. Oh, I think I'm I was like, I think I'm going to be crazy and just drive to the tasting room, have like 2/3, and the pastries, and then drive home again because I really want to go. And so I was crazy, and I did do that. And I came, and I was like, I'm just going to take my book, and I'll sit and have the beers. And I knew I was going to have a lovely time, and I did. And I just sat there with my book. But then, of course, Olly was there. So then Olly and I were having a chat. And then Olly likes to engage me with other people because, like, he'll be talking to someone, and there'll be a home brewer, and he's like, "She knows about hops. Go and talk to her." And I'm like, "Oh, what am I talking about now?" So I get put to work when I come in.
You gave me FOMO as well.
Yeah, every time.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry about that.
FOMOs me. Every time she FOMOs me, because I'm like, it's just slightly too far for me to like go without having it planned. And I swear it's always in the lead up to when I'm going on holiday, because it's either like I'm going to Japan or I'm going someplace. So it's always on that lead up. I'm like, I really want to go, but I know I'm going to burn out, and I can't. Like, I just can't. And then
we
like,
wouldn't want you we wouldn't want you to do that.
It was last year's, and she was like, and they've got the pumpkin one on, and it's not.
You were in Japan already, I think.
I think I was.
You were already in Japan.
Actually in Japan, and she's like, I think I might go. And I was like,
Ollie's posted that they're doing.
I'm in Japan, like I've got FOMO.
Yeah. I was like, Ollie's posted that they're doing a
pumpkin, it was good.
Blueberry maple drizzle beer. I was like, and there's going to be a cake that matches. I was like, I'm going. I was like, I'm making this happen, and I did, and I had a lovely time.
I was either in Japan or I was flying to Japan, like literally within like days. I can't remember. And I was just like so FOMO'd. And she's like, I think I'm going to be wild and I'm just going to go there. And I was like, I want to go too.
Looking at it, like, I was like looking at it on my break in work, and I was like, I just went to Gordon. I was like, I'm going to just drive to Merakai, have some beers and come back. Like, and he's like, okay. I was like, do you want to come with me? He's like, no, I'm just going to stay home. And I was like, okay, off we go. It's great.
This is what it's all about for me. Like, just the fact that you both support us anyway, but just the fact that you did that, like, it's amazing.
It was purely selfish because I wanted that beer.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
It's all about me.
I think we're going to have to sort you out.
That pumpkin.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to sort you out next time. So, like, I appreciate you making the trip, but I think we need to kind of, like, sort you out next time. Keep some for you, Tori, so there's no FOMO, but, like, try and help you out, Joanne. But
it was so good.
No,
she was giving me details. She was like, she sent me a photo. She's like, look at how nice. And I was like, girl.
I'd come along.
No, it was good.
Like, oh, if you're busy, like I was like, I've got my book, so I can just sit here and read and drink some lovely beers. And at points I did, and at points Olly came over and we had a catch up, and then at points he was putting me to work to talk to people about hops, and it was great. I had a lovely time.
Sorry to make you work on your day off, like it's terrible, but like just the fact that you came down, that's so like that's just so sweet.
Genuinely, I think it's interesting that you're like, oh, like it's nice that you've done this. Like, of course we, like,
Yeah, of
of course we would
course.
do that. I'd like just do
It was
it again.
like,
but you don't-
International
it was
Women's Day. I was
totally worth
so
the trip.
excited. I
No,
woke up
I
on the
know,
morning that we did
I
International
know.
Women's Day, and I was so, I'm not a morning person. I was like, it was, I think I described it when I got there. I think when we were talking about it, I described it as like when you're going to like a slumber party with your friends and you can't wait because you're like so excited, and then you get there and you're like, everyone's buzzing because everyone's just really excited to be like hanging out and chatting, and like that's how I felt. And then I was like really sad. I couldn't stay over because I had something I had to get back to, and I was like really gutted because initially I was thinking I'll stay over, like this would be really cool and I could extend it into the evening. And it makes me sad because we don't get to see you more.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is I'm like, oh, so like when I get to go there, I'm like, I want to go and I want to hang out and I want to have conversations and just chill. And when Jo said she was going and there was pumpkin, I was like,
She was mad at me.
well, that's not very fair. I was like, that's not very fair.
Never
of
mind the
you.
fact that she was in Japan. It wasn't
Yeah,
fair
no.
that she couldn't come. But this is what you've built, and this is why we're so proud of you, because
Yeah,
so great.
like no, that means so much, and not to kind of like just keep going. Gosh, fuck it. I'm happy to kind
Do
of
it.
like just express my appreciation, because yeah, without your support, like we wouldn't, I mean, your support, like anyway, as like lovely humans and professionally as well, supporting us, we wouldn't be where we are. We wouldn't. And like I really appreciate you both. Well, we both do, but it does
I
help you
think you
mix good beer. So
underestimate.
that's
Yeah, I think you really underestimate how good the beer is compared to what we bring to that by any means. And then with all the good bits, so you've got recently you've started doing like the bar snacks, and
Yes.
we didn't get to have any when we were there.
didn't.
Can you tell us about that, because it looks so every time I like read the menu that you've got up, I'm like, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, so thank you for the prompt on that. It's yeah, there's a wonderful organization called Turn, and they are essentially how can I describe them? A beautiful like fine dining restaurant that is like, again, similar to our vibe, which is creating opportunities for inclusivity. So it's kind of like not a very stuffy atmosphere. It's made to be quite accessible. So they were at the end of the pier in Worthing. They did an extremely successful crowdfunder. It was extremely successful. Well done to like all the team, and Sophie driving that, who is the co-founder of Turn. Johnny is like the also co-founder and head chef, and like just dreamer of delicious foods. They moved kind of like diagonally opposite us, and they have their own bar in their restaurant. And yeah, their kind of snacks are absolutely amazing. You've got like ox cheeks, you've got like delicious like pickles, and like amazing like cauliflower, like just all the food. You can have like essentially like a delicious beer at our place, and then like some gourmet food, which is like delicious bar snacks. It's incredible. Incredible. We're very, very lucky to have that partnership. So that's delicious. And then we talked about, you mentioned like the music event that we had. So there's an amazing record shop, which is again kind of like opposite us in the courtyard where we are. Emma and Mark run that, and yeah, they're called VAC, and they they kind of approached us about putting on a community event. So it was very much kind of like led by them, with us supporting. So like lots more things like that we want to do for sure. It's very exciting time. Really lovely place to be. Worthing, like the people there, and as I said, especially like our patrons are absolutely gorgeous humans, and we're incredibly grateful for them. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's just it's how can I put this? I don't think Oliver and I predicted what it was going to be, but we're just like really overwhelmed by like the love and support that we've had from the community. So yeah, just kind of like really excited about this next chapter with the crowdfunder and everything. means Oliver will get sprayed in the face, which is ultimately like
I
what
feel
it's all
like
about. If you haven't checked it out, look at the viral video, and please, like, if you can, edit in. I know that's asking a lot, but like, if you can find a clip, stick it
I feel like
in.
we need to confirm as well. He is okay. He did not get hit in the face.
Yeah, no, he's
As I said,
absolutely
I was
fine.
worried. Immediately got hit in the face. He is okay.
No, just quick.
I
He was
feel
just
like
very quick. He kind of like saw what it was, lightning fast, like switched it off. There were some
Experience.
bits that, like, wherever we look, like, we think we got all the bits, and then like I looked behind a picture and I was like, oh no, there's some stout. Gets everywhere, but you know, it's great.
Brilliant.
Maybe people
lively.
can
She's
kind of,
lively. What are we gonna
yeah,
do?
like we turn the place into like a living experience. So like paint the walls with beer and like Willy Wonka style. I don't know. No, we won't do that. That sounds like totally ridiculous. We won't do that. We won't do that.
I feel like you've managed the
But
transition
yeah,
into the
Right.
crowdfunder really well.
Right,
I was
Me,
about
like
to
I didn't
say.
have to do a transition. I've transitioned into my newer glass,
Ooh.
which is an
beautiful.
equally beautiful glass with my Delulu is a Salulu, because your names are always
Yeah,
great. Like you do great named beers, great named art on the labels.
thank you. Yeah, this one espresso for my depresso.
I'm
But
excited
yeah,
for it.
no, that's a beer glass you can kind of like experience when you come to the bar. Still quite unique and lovely. It's very kind of weighty, but
So
delicious.
tell us
Yeah,
about the
just
crowdfunder.
Yeah,
That's
tell us
going
about
yeah.
live
So
that.
today.
about the crowdfunder. So kind of going live today on Monday. So
Breaking
like
news.
yeah, practicalities of it, like more beer. So this is the aim for like Oliver to do like more exciting kind of like smaller beers with a quicker turnaround. Like at the moment, we've got the kit, but they are flat kind of bottomed, so we need some conical vessels. Like obviously from the video that you saw, we need some conical vessels to be able to do like some of the other brews that we want to do. So we're essentially crowdfunding so we can do some more like experimental beers, some more frequent beers on the taps, and then also like just so we can give like our bar a bit of a shush up a little bit. I appreciate you said it's like really nice, but we've had it for like 3 years and it's definitely kind of like needs some touch up and a little bit of more kind of like better use of space. I think now we've got like into the rhythm of having it 3 years, we can see how kind of like people move around and interact with each other and exactly what we need. So, yep, that's why we're kind of like looking to do the crowdfunder and launch it on the 10th. Sorry, launch it on Monday the 6th, which is today. So we'll be doing that, and there's lots of different things that people can take advantage of in terms of experiences like we had last time, and merch and everything else that's really like easily accessible. So if it's for you, someone you love, or just like, I don't know, whatever you fancy, then and you want to support like a small business or a small brewery, then yeah, feel free to kind of get involved. Ultimately, it's things for people who live nearby as well as like you know, kind of we have gift sets and things for people who aren't necessarily like local, so a bit of something for everybody. All will be revealed. So if you go to yeah, if you go to our socials, Merakai Brewing, we'll have a link
It'll
to
all
the
be linked.
crowdfunder in there. Yes.
We'll put all the
We can
links
link
in the
directly
show
to the
notes.
crowdfunder as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fabby.
I always love that when you have like stuff that's not just because I've seen some crowdfunders that go up and it is literally just like you have to be local or else it's really hard. Like so, most of the time I'm just like I just want to donate money, so like it's fine, I don't really need anything, but like I also don't want to end up like having someone allocate like a bar tab for me when it's someplace that's like quite far away and I probably won't get to, or at least not easily or before it expires, like any of that. So it's like merch is easy, like even just like stickers, I'm like I'm just happy with stickers because like really what I want to do is give you the money, so I'm like even just stickers make me happy. And it's just when someone's like you can donate this or this and it's all like in-person things and I'm like I guess I'll pay for that and then just give it to somebody else, like because I don't know. So like that accessibility piece of like if you don't live nearby as well is like so helpful as well. So I'm really excited to
thank you. We are too. Yeah, we are too. We've got so all of us like been posting about like the things that we're kind of, hoping to do. We've got some like amazing renders of what we hope like the bar will look like, and then also because he has to like commission the vessels because they're not standard vessels. They're actually kind of like quite tall and thin and very bespoke for the area. They're going to have to be commissioned. But like, yeah, again, it's just going to be another way for us to do what we want to do, create more of what we love, and then also like give people who like really want to support us the opportunity to kind of like go that step further and support us with the crowdfunder. And from a kind of small business perspective in terms of being able to access funding and support through the traditional routes, it can be like really challenging, which is why one of the reasons why we went down the crowdfunding route, but also like as another way to kind of give back to the community who want to, just support you. And in some, kind of like some respects, we've had people within our community who just want to do like more to help us, and it's those sorts of like people that really you know go above and beyond in support for small businesses. And without people like yourselves and without people like that, we wouldn't have a country that's built on like small businesses like supporting communities. So it's kind of like a gorgeous, like symbiotic, like, reciprocal relationship of support from kind of like one people to another. And that's what I love, and I'm really excited about it.
I was going to say, like, look at the renderings. Your bar's moving, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of going from when you walk in, like straight forward to like over to the side and stuff as well, isn't it?
Yep. Again, kind of like looking at the accessibility of the space and how people move around it, like from a practical perspective, it just like lends itself over there. To be kind of like quite boring. Unfortunately, we do have to go through planning. So like with all the glamorous, like aspects of moving a brewery, kind of like building a space, like reinvigorating a space, there are like some boring practicalities that you have to go through before you can experience like the joy of a finished product. But we will get there.
That's what I was going to note, because we talked about it when we were down with you for the brew day. I think that's something that people don't realise. Like, yes, the crowdfunder is for some equipment, but also to be able to, you've been in that space, you now understand how you want it to lay out. Like, to be able to change that, there are costs involved in that with planning permission and things like that. And I didn't realise that when we were having that conversation, that you then had to pay administration fees and whatever, again, just to be able to move things around inside the bar. Like, that's a small business cost that people don't realize. Like, and so the crowdfunder is going to be helping for that. So I think it is important for people to realize that, yes, you're buying equipment, but also just to be able to make the space even more accessible for people, that costs money too. So let's give what we can to the crowdfunder, everybody.
Yeah, as I said,
that was shocking to me as well.
But there are so many people who just really, really want to do what they can to like support community businesses. And for us, it's like it just means the world to be able to continue like our business and modernize it and kind of, I think, bring it to a vision that we probably kind of like had in mind for what we wanted it to be. Do you know what I mean? Like, so people will be like effectively getting the benefit from helping us realize like our dream ultimately. And as I said, like Oliver will be in there all the time doing like lots of various like different things, so people get the opportunity, which I don't think I make like much of a deal out of, like they get the opportunity to like speak to Oliver about the beers that he's brewed, and then also if as people interested in craft beer can kind of like pick his brains, or home brewers and things like that, can just like ask questions and engage with us at a level, or if they want to ask us questions about like, how to set up their own business, if they want to go into kind of like brewing, we'll just make ourselves like more accessible to people.
I said that the other week.
That's what it's all about.
beer festivals used to be the place where like you could go along and, you know, the brewer was giving out their beer, so you could have those conversations with them. And some of the bigger festivals now, it's not always the brewer that's there. Like as breweries have got bigger, they can't afford to have the brewer at events like that. As the festivals have got bigger, it's volunteers rather than the brewers. And so having that access still to a craft brewer who you can ask those questions of and get that information and feedback, that's really cool for you guys to still have that available to people.
Except when you're there, Joanne, and Oliver
apart from when I'm there and he puts me to work,
like dragging you into like conversations about like
this is the lady.
Hop
Actual quote. This is the lady to talk to about hops. I was like, what? What am I doing?
Yes.
Meanwhile, I'm
that.
like, meanwhile, I'm like, what do you want me to do? I was like, I'll do whatever you want me to do. Can I clean? Can I do this? Can I do that?
You do, you do the most, and we appreciate you. But no, we're just like, yeah, I think we're just really excited for this new chapter, and I think, yeah, kind of like throughout the evolution of our brewery, we're kind of like where we're supposed to be, where the size that we're supposed to be. Like, I don't know, like if Joanne, you mentioned kind of like earlier before about like what owning this type of business actually means, and it is essentially like one of those things where you do it like you don't you don't do it for money. It's just definitely kind of like for the love, for the love of the craft. So by having it kind of like so it's manageable for both of us, and it's just like more self-contained and like a smaller scale, it means it's going to be kind of like that bit more special. And I think, yeah, if we did our time again, as I said, lessons learned, but I think this is probably kind of like the sweet spot of where we'd want to be ultimately.
I love it.
Is there
really kind of like happy, excited, and looking forward to it.
Is there a particular element to the crowdfunder piece that you are most looking forward to? Is it the conical? Is it the conical?
Yeah, is it the conical? I suppose I should get kind of like Oliver into wax lyrical about it. Do you want to come in and wax lyrical about what you're most excited about?
No, don't make him do that. He's had a very hard day. He's been canning.
Well, you should see it. No, he's like it started, so he's finished. So he's kind of like making his way over here. And you probably like want to hear from his little face as well, since he's getting his like his shiny vessel. I know.
Hello. I'm making him get up. Like he's had a really hard.
No, he loves it. He loves it. He's been kind of like itching to get on. So it's essentially the question was like, what are you most looking forward to? Is it the shiny vessels? Is it like the RO machine?
Probably the RO machine, I have to say. I'm a bit sad when it comes to water nowadays, and my reverse osmosis machine is probably the thing I'm looking forward to the most. But the FVs will definitely make life a hell of a lot easier. Seeing as I kegged that stout, with the explosion happening and everything, and I've only just canned it today, and that's about a week after I kegged it. So it's just the time by not having a conical is just silly. It's just the man hours, but RO definitely. It's I get to tinkle and tweak and play with water treatments and have fun basically.
And that's essentially what it's all about. And like we are kind of quite restricted with what we can brew. So for example, like people have just been like really on us for like the alcohol-free beers that we do and the fruited beers that we do. At the moment, it's not quite possible with the setup that we've got, particularly like the fruited beers. As you explained to me, like you need conical to kind of like mix everything in together, so you make sure you've got like a quality solid product rather than like watery bit and then like a pulpy bit, like to just be technical about it.
And alcohol free, you need it to be as sterile as possible, and brewing into an open top and then trying to do everything I'm doing the way I am at the moment. Alcohol frees are the most volatile things ever, and you don't want anything happening with that. So again, it needs to be fully in a conical.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yep. So it's like allowing us to kind of expand the range. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you want these beers from Merakai,
You
you've got
don't
to
want
contribute to the
brooms.
crowdfunder.
The fruited, I didn't realize like how much people were really like losing it over the fruited. Like I swear no less than every maybe 10-15 minutes, I swear people were like, so when are you going to make another froze? When are you going to make another
Yeah,
froze?
it's pretty much. Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah,
we want the fruited, we want the frozes. And I was just like, I mean, I know I love them, but I didn't realize like just how many people were like, and you're going to do a froze, right?
Yeah, I've not done a proper one for 2-3 years now.
Yeah, pretty much. You've done like the small
I've done the small
ones.
batch ones just for the bar, but I've not done a proper one for a long time, and it was just the cost.
Yeah.
Brewing one,
So
it's so expensive. Brewing one on the big kit, I'd still only brew probably 1,400 liters, but then you're adding a third of that back in puree on top, so you're looking at least £1,000 in fruit puree to an already fairly expensive grain bill, because I don't like to do things by halves.
It's a budgeting nightmare. It's an absolute give him a budget.
So at least on this kit, it's a quarter of the size. So if I brew 300 liters, I've only got to add 100 liters of fruit puree, and you're all good, really. So
if it makes you feel better, Emma, I had this conversation with Jordan about Jack from Tartarus the other day as well. I was like, he's a budgeting nightmare. She was like, yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Give him budget, stick to it. But it's like, yeah, well, the thing is like you want it to be a good beer, and I think from, like our perspective, like I talked about before, in terms of like just putting everything into it, he will go, yeah, but like it won't, I don't think it will be like as good, or the quality won't be kind of, where I want it to be. So it's very much kind of like thinking that way, rather than, like a big scale production brewer, like actually really caring about like the quality of the ingredients that we put into the beer, and knowing that's going to cost us, but actually like the final product like will be absolutely worth it.
Well, it's like this Worthing Tap Takeover. I'm doing a single one-off collaboration brew with Pipeline, and it seems like it's going to be a 14% Imperial Bounty Bar stout, basically. But I'm adding in chocolate ice cream powder and coconut cream powder into it.
Oh my!
And even just on a little scale of just doing a one-off 20-litre keg, that's still costing me 50 quid in ingredients. So I want to scale that up so I can do 400-litre versions of that, because it'll be really tasty. But yeah,
it sounds amazing.
So it's
absolutely amazing.
Yeah. It's going back to that program that I kind of like turned you on to, Tori, which is
I was just going to say that.
Where Seth Rogen like plays a brewmaster. And in one of the scenes, it's essentially like this fruited beer, and everyone tastes it and says, "Oh my god, it's amazing!
It's amazing.
This costs £60 to make. We're going to sell it for £5."
Yeah, it was like it costs $16 to make. We're going to sell it for like $3. It's like, where in what world? This is exactly the land that I live in. Yeah. But it cost me hundreds of pounds, and it's just like, oh god.
Oh,
you recommended me that show. I finished it. It was such a good show. Like I really enjoyed it, and I really like. There were so many little like nerdy aspects about beer that were like put into it as well that didn't have to be. And also Seth Rogen, I'm fairly certain, has a tattoo of Duffman as well, like on his arm, which made me chuckle every time. I was like, every time he kind of bit off, I'd go like, Duffman can't breathe. Oh yeah, and I was like, I loved it. But it was that specific episode where he was just like, and this is amazing fruit beer, and then we age it for this long, and we use these ingredients, and I've sourced like this. He's like, it costs $60 a bottle to make, and they were like, this is phenomenal, this is amazing. And he's like, what are we going to sell it for? Like 100? And he was like, 10. They were like, what? And they were like, we can't, that's not sustainable. And he's like, no, it is sustainable because it's a limited release. And then he was like doing the math of like, no, it's a limited release, so
exactly
everyone's gonna come to get that.
Yeah. It's the height
And I
of
realised,
the,
I'm like, I exactly agree with you when you were like, yeah, that's Oliver.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all right. It's a lost leader, but then every beer is a lost leader. What are we fucking doing?
But that's it. It's like your quality
we
is
do
so
all right on our
high.
fruited
Yeah,
sours.
no, I know.
You've just got to sell them.
Yeah, we're making art, aren't we? We do it for the love of it. We're just making art.
I do it because I have fun brewing beer.
There we go.
And it's like the quality is
That's
so
it.
good. Like, and that's the thing is, I just feel like you never sacrifice on the quality of it either. Like, and that's why it's because you're like, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it properly. And to do it properly, I need this, and this. And like, that is just what it is. And you've gone in like eyes wide open. And
Well,
that's
it's like-
how you are a brewing wizard.
Yeah.
It's like the Delulu is the Salulu. It's the 4% pale that you've got that you're saving for a sunny day. That one.
I'm
She's
drinking
That's
it
still,
now.
I think,
I'm
like 8
drinking it
grams.
now.
Oh, there you go. It's like 8 grams per litre of dry hop for a 4% beer, which people don't do because that's just silly. But I want my beer to taste of something, so that's the reason why I do it. So
Yeah, the hops have got to punch you in the back of the throat, don't they? That's the idea.
But I still want it smooth, hence why I need an RO machine.
Yeah, true. No, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing, and we're like genuinely. I know I sound like a little bit exhausted because we're a bit tired, but like generally we're like just really really excited about it. Yeah, no, it's great.
There's a lot of coffee in
No,
there.
I know it's great. I like it.
I still can't taste
I
much at the
cannot wait
moment.
to buy
I'm getting over having like a fluey coldy thing, and
Oh no.
yeah, so I can
That
smell
makes
that there's
me
coffee
sad.
in it, but I don't get much else at the
No,
moment.
it's delicious.
I'm
No, it's
looking forward to
delicious.
it.
I can't wait.
Sorry
to,
about it.
I need to
Yeah.
buy some because it just like
Yeah,
the
no, we'll
second
make
you
sure
showed
it's
me
on
the
the
label, I
shop.
was like, yes.
Yeah, so I packaged it today, and yeah, well, I'll try and get it on the shop tomorrow if I can remember how to upload it and put it onto the shop.
So I'll be like eyes out tomorrow, like refresh.
No, it'll be fine.
Is there,
It'll be fine. We'll do it. It'll be fine.
Is there any events that you guys are looking really? Are you excited about having any particular events or any particular other things other than your kit that you're getting? Is there anything else in particular you're both looking forward to?
Yeah, sorry, Oliver's just spotted Faye in the background. No, it's no. I mentioned everything kind of like going on before. There she is. I mentioned everything going on before, which is Pastry Palooza. I know.
But that's not till November.
Oh, sorry. Not Pastry Palooza.
Worthing
Tap Takeover. So that's that's going to be a good vibe and
10th
a good
to the
event.
12th.
Yeah, 10th to the 12th.
Our busiest weekend of the year by far, and yeah, it's just a great laugh. It's it's crazy. I've ordered extra beer this year. We're definitely not running out. But again, we've got Pipeline, so they're a really great brewery. They've managed to give us everything we needed. So we've got some lower ABV pales, some higher ABV pales. We've got a fruited sour that's the collab with Flock, which is quite cool. We've got what is it? I think it's a Cinder Toffee Stout that's like 7.5%. And then, as I said, I've done my collab with them, so that 14%, stupid thing. So yes, we've got everything covered, and then we've got some canned stuff as well. So it's we've got a dipper in cans and stuff like that. So we've got a good selection. Everyone should be happy with what they get when they come to us. Obviously, last year we jointly won best venue for the beers, which was us and Old Bike Store, and then my collab with Rivington or the brewer of Rivington, Stewie. That was again a 14% ice cream stout that won best beer of the festival. So I'm going for it again with hopefully best beer of the festival again by doing a stupidly big stout. So.
Yeah, no, it is a really high bar, but yeah, I think you'll do all right.
It should do all right. Yeah. It's a bounty bar.
I feel like but ice cream anything is like yes, and then when you're saying like bounty bar in a can, you're like, but then we put like ice cream powder. Like I'm like yeah. No, I'm very much there for it.
I don't know how you pronounce the name. Is Azvex have just done a collab with them, and they've just done a cream stout. Is it Adroit Theory?
Adroit.
And Android.
I don't know how you...
see, I'd say Android.
Adroit. Isn't it Adroit?
I'd say Android.
Android.
Is it Android?
You're an Android.
I'd say Android.
Android. You know, like the French.
I thought it was
Adroit. Like the French.
Yeah,
Adroit.
Adroit. Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
I love that.
Adroit.
We're split, where it's like two of us.
I'm
like,
not going mad. It is Adroit. Sorry,
Yeah,
my pronunciation is terrible.
I failed French.
Oh no.
But so it's going to hopefully be in that sort of style because it's that
With
sort
them.
of cream imperial stout thing going on. So
Adroit
theory, that's what
I failed French, so I'm like the worst person to ask about any of that.
no.
So I'm like Android, mate.
I got an A in my GCSEs.
That's
so
what I
we're
would say,
gonna go with
Android
me and
to
Emma.
Yes, it's definitely like the French pronunciation of like. I wish I could get it up actually.
But it's going to be hopefully a bit like that because I think the last year's one, which was the vanilla chocolate ice cream stout, that kind of had that vibe of a creamed imperial stout. So with the coconut cream powder and then the chocolate ice cream powder, that should do the same sort of thing. So
you got fingers crossed for you.
Sounds amazing. Fingers and toes.
It's only 14.
With you both here.
It'd be fun.
With you both here, I feel like the best question to ask you is like if somebody's going to go down. So I feel like every time I go to when I've come to visit, it's been really great because I'm like I park up and like last time we were there for International Women's Day, I was saying to Joe even, oh, should we go to the beach for a minute? And like there's so many like lovely independent businesses and things to do. If somebody has like one afternoon in Worthing, sorry, I don't know if you can hear Phelan whining, absolutely whining. She just wants attention. She's giving you a cheeky side eye. She's going like this while she's whining.
It's very beautiful.
If somebody's there for like one afternoon and they're going to do a crawl around Worthing, like what would you recommend?
Technically, you could do the Worthing Mile, which is an unofficial thing that I've come up with, and you start at Beer No Evil, and from Beer No Evil all the way down to the signal post, it's 1.01 mile or something like that, and you can do Beer No Evil, Old Bike Store, Selden Arms, Turn Basement, us. What else is along that way?
Signal post.
You got the signal post. There must be something. Oh, Anchored. You've got basically like 8 venues just along this 1 mile strip, and that's probably if you're into your beer, that's probably the easiest thing. But then if you're coming in via train, you can then start off at the Old Bike Store and the Bottle and Jug, or the Fox and Finch. Or no, sorry, not Fox Finch a bit further out, or the Foresters, which is also at West Worthing Station. So there's so many things in Worthing to do. It's that's the reason why the Worthing Tap Takeover works so well because 20 venues, it's like what 7 a day. That's fine over 3 days.
Yeah, you can go and kind of like do a bit of a steam on the beach, or you can go and get some delicious seafood or some bar snacks and pickles, or like there's just lots of like different gorgeous little bits and pieces to get involved with, like galleries, like just areas of interest. It's just beautiful. It's really beautiful.
But mostly beer.
Yeah. Or you can just grab some fruit from M&S and sit in one of the gardens.
Or just on the beach.
Yeah, on the beach.
When we took Phelan down that time that we took Phelan down, we walked around and we walked her through the park because we were trying to get her to chill before we got there because we were like, it just takes forever to settle because she's an endless ball of energy. And so we're like, we'll just walk her around until we get to yours and then it will be like, she'll be chill by that point. She was, spoiler alert, she was not chill. She was not chill, was she? And we walked, she was not chill. She was just constantly like, let's walk around. Let me say hi to everyone. Let me do everything. But we walked her through all the parks and the parks were really like you said, they were just these beautiful parks that we were walking through, and like where you guys are nested as well on that main road. It's just like such a lovely setting, and I really genuinely feel like where you're positioned as well and the way you're set up is just beautiful. If you were going to go picnic on the beach, what beer are you bringing? What snack are you bringing?
Oh, that's really hard.
That's a curveball question.
Snacks
on the beach.
For
me, Soundwave Siren.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just a classic beach drink. It's Westy, but not full on in your face, bitter Westy. And then probably a sausage roll from Marks and Sparks.
No, that's fair enough. If it was kind of like any beer that we had, so it would probably be one of our like Frozes.
Oh, she spun it back to us.
Yeah. Like, this is not a promo.
You can tell who's marketing and who's not.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It would probably be like one of our Frozes. Or most likely like the wit beer, so probably kind of like do a Radler like I talked about, and then probably some like delicious kind of like not fries but potatoes from
the layered squished potatoes.
Yeah, the delicious potato. I love that fact that neither of us can remember them from the top of their heads. But yeah, like the potatoes with the delicious mayo from Turn, because that is like they're just like so Moorish and just absolutely delicious and just kind of greasy, but like the good kind of greasy. Do you know what I mean? Like they taste like delicious. Just very Moorish.
I love that you call them layered squished potatoes.
That's what I'd have. Or a cheese and onion sandwich. Or a cheaper cheese and onion sandwich from my Tesco or something. Just not. It's not particularly kind of like fancy.
I feel like your answer just made me have one final question before like Jo can ask any of her final questions. If you were to resurrect any of your beers and rebrew it again, which one would it be? But you can only do one. Each of you can only do one.
Oh no! No, I'm just going to say too, sorry. I licked it so it's mine. And Every Day is Mangonificent.
Well, that's good, because they were probably the two that I would have said as well. So there we go.
So there you go. It's evened out to 2.
Yeah.
There we go.
But so Oliver, the Licked It So It's Mine, like the beer that we produced was delicious.
It wasn't exactly what I wanted though.
It was like the first time he brewed, like I Licked It So It's Mine as a concept beer, I nearly died. It was absolutely it was phenomenal. It's like phenomenal.
And scaling up didn't quite work because
it was still delicious.
It was still lovely, but it became almost like a West Coast dipper almost. It was definitely mid coast, and it was supposed to be more New Englandy. So I definitely revise and relook at that recipe again. And the Every Day is Mangonificent. I just love that.
Well, that works because we both had one each. Really, when you kind of like think about 2.
Perfection.
But yeah, that's it. Breakfast juice and delicious beer. But no, it like when he brewed that, it tasted like I'm going to say it because it did. It tasted like a Bizzle Brother beer.
Tasted like Swish.
It tasted, it tasted really good, and it was milky, and it was like, holy shit, you brewed this beer. We're definitely starting a brewery. It was a fond memory. He pulled we lived in Worthing, and it was during lockdown, and he kind of brewed it, and he brought it out, and it was like a home brew, and he brought it out, and I just remember like we were just sat in the garden, just like laughing because it tasted phenomenal, and it was like, yeah, we're definitely going to do this, aren't we? And it's like, well, yeah, we are. So here we are. We never looked back, have we?
Being cheeky.
Did you shock yourself then?
It was definitely.
It shocked me. Yeah, it shocked me.
It was exactly what I wanted it to be, which doesn't happen very often in the brewing world. It's kind of you get close, but the test brew was actually perfect.
Yeah, it was.
The other one I'd like to revisit and tweak would be We Put Our Love in This.
So that's 3. Oh yeah, Stout. That was phenomenal.
Fun. Yeah.
The Boston Stout, but Tori's fine with that
because it's a Boston Stout. I allow it because it's a Boston Stout. Yeah. I was going to ask you. I was going to be like, not the Boston Stout. I feel like if I was going to put in a submission and like strictly on artwork, it would probably be the one with the chonky cat. The chonky cat is still.
Oh, Am I the Drama?
Brewed that twice now.
Am I the Drama? The name was great, and the chonky cat. And I remember saying to you specifically, this would make a great tattoo. I did not get that as a tattoo yet, but it still would make a great tattoo because it's a chonky cat.
No, that one will definitely be brewed again.
Yeah, people like that.
It's a good beer. It's definitely one I would brew again. I've changed the yeast on it twice now. So the first time it was using Kvik, and it was actually which one was it? I can't remember which Kvik it was now. There's only 2 types, and I can't remember the name of either of them. And then the second time I changed it, and it was a Kvik strain. So it was the Mango Madness yeast I've used in it from WHC. So I might change the yeast again, just because
switch out.
The yeast is always I'm still not 100% happy with that yeast in that beer, but overall the hops and everything else in that beer are lovely. So so it's just
affectionately known as Scary Cat, isn't it? Everyone calls it Scary Cat.
Scary Cat. I think it's adorable cat.
Scary Cat.
It's my favorite. I've got the label.
Scary Cat.
I just found the label the other day, and I was like, I love this art so much. So I'd saved it, and I was going through and like just like cutting out the pictures of the stuff I wanted, and I was just like, I remember this label, and this was one of my favorite labels. Because I thought the cat was very cute. not
Yeah,
scary.
the artist was like, she's amazing,
Yeah,
isn't
she's
she,
very good.
Olga? Like, absolutely incredible. 3D animation, just phenomenal talent. Yeah, love it.
Love it.
So yeah, three beers, and no, you did four. Three.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Still counts.
Bring back on.
Yeah.
We'll let you off. We'll let you
We'll
off.
allow it. We'll allow it.
One for each of us.
thank
We'll
you.
count your
Yeah.
count
Yeah.
for
What?
us.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have those as well. Is there anything else you want to tell us?
No, I think that's it, isn't it? Kind of like wonderful crowdfunding,
Everyone's got to
gorgeous
go
community. I've
support the
finally kind of like
crowdfunder.
got back on the podcast again. So yay, highest recurring is most important to me, so I don't leave my crown. That was the most important thing, really. Yeah.
That's the
was
most
it. It's
important
just an
thing.
appearance.
Yeah.
I could have just popped up and gone hello and then come back down again. But no, like that's that's all for me. Other than to say, and kind of like sorry to repeat it, but like we just really appreciate you and the support that you've given us. Like really, it like it means a lot to us. It means like a huge amount. So we love you guys.
We love
We
you.
love you guys. I feel like I sign off all my texts with when we voice note each other. It's always love you, bae. So yeah, I think the feeling is mutual, and thank you guys for always being so supportive of us and wanting to talk to us so much. So we are very appreciative of the friend. I can't believe we've been friends for as long as we have been. Like it feels like time has flown. I'm like I can't even believe.
That. 6 years this year.
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah, so the brewery's been going 6 years and the bar's 3 years.
3 years next week.
Thursday?
Yeah.
This Thursday?
Oh, we always like we're rubbish.
I think it's 3 years.
So
this Thursday, I think is
No, like so what happens is like we kind of like everyone makes a big deal out like rubbish. Everyone makes a big deal out of like their birthdays for the brewery or like their bar birthdays, but like we always
or their podcast.
Like, genuinely,
and we
just forget.
Yeah,
and we're like,
we will have a conversation 6 months out, a year out, and be like, we need to on this
we should
next
do
birthday,
something. We should
thing.
definitely do something.
And then like 6 months, we're like, in 6 months, that's our podcast birthday. We really should do something. Yeah, should we start like planning something? Yeah,
let's plan something.
And then we're like, our birthday's tomorrow. Should we do something with that?
We need an episode. What are we putting out? Quick. We're terrible.
Normally one of us is away, the other
everyone
one's
to
doing
go,
stuff.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday! We love you.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday to the bar.
Happy birthday! We love you.
We love you.
Yeah, we can record that now for you, can't we? We can be like, Happy birthday, Joanna Tori.
When's the 7th?
The 7th?
Yeah.
Tuesday. Next Tuesday.
3 years Tuesday, I think it is. Yeah.
So
the day after we,
everyone go and crowdfund a birthday present
tomorrow. Yeah.
Check out the crowdfunder and on your note put happy birthday to Mirakai.
Right. Give us a gift.
Yes.
Give us a gift. That's a really good idea. That's it.
Unity building.
Yeah.
It's a twofer, isn't it? Amazing. Get yourself a gift, get us a gift. Yep. Everyone's happy. Loving it. Great idea, team.
There we go. Oh, we love having you on. Thank you for coming on again. You're always welcome. We've got to keep Emma coming back so that she can keep her crown.
We were really good at staying focused this time as well.
I will not be defeated.
Who is it that's coming for your crown?
I'm not going to say. But they know who they are. I said earlier on, they know exactly who they are. They know who they are. They know who they are. One of them we know very well. And she's not going to beat me.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on. Everyone needs to go and support the crowdfunder and say happy birthday to the bar. And we'll make sure we've got all the links in the show notes so they can do that.
And then Emma will have to come back.
Amazing.
Again.
Yeah, and then you'll have to come back again and tell us all about it.
Thanks, guys.
We will do.
I always love having Emma on. I can't believe it's 3 years. That's far too long.
I was going to say Emma and Oliver. That is nice. Yes. We got a surprise appearance.
Yes, we did
at the end as well. Yeah, I caught when I was looking up ahead of us recording that the last time they were on was in January 2023. I was like, oof, what? Like I just, it didn't feel like it was that long ago, but I think it's because we'd like talk regularly enough that it didn't feel like that much time passed.
It's the
I know I'm
same-
guilty of being like rubbish friend of doesn't, I'll think I need to message Emma and then it will be like 4 weeks and then I'll be like, shit, I didn't message Emma, I need to do it. But like still, I definitely talk more regularly than just once every 3 years.
It's the same as like, I forget how often we see each other in person because we message each other every day. So then someone's like, when's the last time you saw Tori? And I'm like, oh, actually in person? Oh, that was a while ago, but it doesn't feel like it because we message each other every day.
It's funny you say that as well, because somebody said to me like, oh yeah, I forget that you guys don't live near each other and you don't see each other. And I was like, yeah, we don't. And they were
really
like,
don't.
yeah, no, I forgot about that. And I was like, yeah, no. And it's funny that you said that because as well, because we message each other so frequently, like when you go away for work, I try not to message you because I'm like, well, you're busy. Like I'm not gonna message you unless it's something that's like worth messaging while you're away. And if you want to message because you've seen a beer, then I'll respond. But like, I'm not initiating. Yeah. And like, I tried to be like, you've just got back from a work week away. Like, try not to message right away. And then it feels really weird when I go to message you. And I realize like, oh my God, it's been so long since I messaged. But also the really funny thing that we found out, linking it back to Merakai, was like when we were both driving to Merakai for the International Women's Collaboration Brew Day, we were like, the night before, we were like, all right, we'll just message each other on WhatsApp before we leave because we know that the Bluetooth will like read out in the car, so I can like still be like, oh, you're there, great, this is where I am while I'm driving. And then we were like talking about how like, yeah, like we just message each other on Facebook so much. And then I was like, I literally don't message anyone other than you really on Facebook. And you're like, yeah, I don't message anyone else other than you. I message Rick when I'm trying to send him something that like I can only send via Facebook Messenger. And other than that, literally
hardly
no one.
Anybody else? Like hardly
No
anybody
one.
else. No, it's just like one day we could. Here's a thought: we could move to WhatsApp one day, but I feel like that.
No,
feels
I don't
weird.
like that.
No, I don't
I
like it.
hate that
I feel like that'd be
immediately.
weird, right? That'd be weird.
I
Only when we're in the
immediately hate
car.
that.
We can only WhatsApp each other
immediately
when we're in the
hate
car.
that. And even then it feels really weird doing it in the car. But what's great is like with Emma, like if the thing was like with Emma, I was going to switch to talking to Emma not on WhatsApp, but I was going to talk to her on like Facebook. I'd go, no. Or like Instagram, I'd be like, no, this is weird. Like other than sharing the occasional thing, I'm like, that's not where I talk to you. There's certain people I talk to them in certain places, and I just, if they message me somewhere else, I go, no. Like if you have decided one day we're WhatsApping, I'd be like, no.
We do have chats though in Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, just depending on what we're talking about, and we just pretend that like it's all the same conversation.
No, because it is, isn't it though? Yeah, Instagram's just like I found a
that's for us to
reel
share
and it made me think
another.
of you. Like, here you go. Yeah, Instagram's for sharing video, short form video content.
And when our
WhatsApp's for the car
overlap.
and Facebook is for normal, where our algorithms over. It's when you pollute my algorithm.
It's not always me. I sometimes get
this
things
is definitely from you. I go, this is definitely from you. Here you go, have it. I don't want it. Take it back. But this is it. It's like I genuinely like. Again, it makes me feel really thankful. Like when I think about how thankful I am for the people that I met because of beer, like Merakai plays such a big part in that. Yeah. It's like not surprisingly so, but what I mean by surprisingly so is like when I think about like people would probably expect me. The reason I said surprisingly so is because people would expect me to be like, oh, the podcast is what is created this like big community, like this is what has made me more part of the community. And I think like that's true, but not in isolation, because I think like that came about as we were also meeting other people, and the podcast is kind of what we wouldn't have met Merakai without the podcast. But I think having that relationship between the two of us and Merakai has brought us so many other friendships and things that we maybe wouldn't have maybe met had we not, become friends with like Emma and other, and like that's it. Like you know, I have trouble. You know that I have trouble being like, oh, these are friends, like, oh,
Friends.
But I feel like with like Emma and Oliver, I'm like, no, like I wouldn't even. There's not even. I'm like, I love them so much. They are such amazing people. Like, support them to the ends of the earth. Support the crowdfunder. Make sure everyone else supports the crowdfunder. Like, the community that they have built, really, for me, is part of a really big part of, for me, the community that I've surrounded myself with. So, and I don't say that like that's not a hollow, you know, lightly worded thing. Like, it genuinely, I think when we talk to her, as you listen to that, I feel like she's really underplayed like how much like they have done to drive that community, that sense of community. And I really feel like inspired by the stuff that they do and the community that they've built. And I'm just like, it challenges, when I see what they're doing and the community they're building, I feel like it really challenges me to want to be like, no, I want to contribute. Like, they make me want to contribute. And like, I don't know, just be like, it makes me feel like I'm not being active enough. Like, I want to be out there doing more so that they can have what they deserve as well. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely does. And like, they've made such an amazing space there that is welcoming to everybody. And like you say, they've embedded themselves in that community. Like, you know, Gemma from B&O Evil was down for the brew day, and like they're a big part of Worthing Tap Takeover that they organise. Like, Merakai then organise Pastry Palooza and B&O Evil and the Old Bike Store and the Brooksty.
The Old Bike Store was there.
You know, they all contribute to that as well. Like, they're a part of that, they're embedded in that community. That's such a good word for it. And it's because they've created that great space for people. And let's all go and support it some more so it can become even more accessible.
Yeah, I think it was even before that space, and that space is just the physical entity of like,
it's like
what was even happening before that space, and it's like that is now the epicenter of that
that's
community.
What I was looking for.
And I think it's just like, I'm gutted I don't live closer, to be honest. Like, if I live closer, I need to make more effort to like go and have nights over there. Sometimes it's just like, time gets away from you and you go, I should do this. Like, when there's the events happening, I'm like, I should go and I should spend the weekend. And then that's where you're like, oh, the prices have gone up, and then it just doesn't happen. And then I feel like, oh, I'm gutted I missed it, because I get FOMO every time. Oliver talking about those beers that he's made, I'm like, I've got FOMO. I've got FOMO for a beer that's not even available for me to drink yet. Like, what the hell? And it's because he's just such a brewing wizard. I'm like, it's going to be amazing. Like, I know it's going to be amazing. I'm going to see other people with it, and I'm going to feel bad that I'm not there. So, you know, take that for what it is.
Amazing. Tori, if people want to tell you their favourite Merakai beer, because you should have one, and you should tell us all about it, where can they tell you that?
Yeah, I mean, I already shared that, like, artwork wise and naming wise. Am I the drama? Me? Am I the drama? The chonky little cat. That one is my favorite label, and I was very pleased with their choice of bringing, like, if they could resurrect the Boston Stout. That one also pleases me. So yeah, share. I licked it, and so it's mine also. Like, I remember that being one of the first beers that, like, when they came out with that first set, and we were like, oh my god. And I remember being like, found this brewery, love their mission, vision, purpose, like all of that, and then like, oh, that sense of community, and then this beer name is amazing. So when they said, like, I licked it, so it's mine, I was like, I remember seeing that and being like, love. So yeah, a lot of people said Frosé on the International Women's Collaboration Brew Day. A lot of people wanted that back.
So good.
Please let me know, let the podcast know, if you want to let me know personally, you want to talk about K-pop Demon Hunters, because I'm all on board about that as well. You can message me on Instagram at adventures_in_hoptimism. You can email me at adventuresinhoptimism@gmail.com. If you want to share which Merakai beer you'd resurrect, or what episode do you think we could bring Emma back for again? Like, is there a conversation topic you want to, like, hear her take on? I don't know, what can we do to have her back on again? you can message us on Instagram or Facebook at A Woman's Brew, or you can email us at awomansbrewpodcast@gmail.com. You can visit our website if you want to hear this episode when it's released, if you haven't already listened to it. Hopefully you're listening to it now from that webpage, which is awomansbrewpod.beer, awomansbrewpod.beer. Joe, if people want to talk to you about what it's like going and speaking at Merakai about hops,
you can come and ask me, because I have a variety of different experiences of that. Times. Yeah, I've done a few times. Sometimes it's impromptu, sometimes it's organized, sometimes it's Olly going, she's a person to talk to about hops, and then I go hello, and I start talking to some random people about hops. I'm always happy to do so. And you can come and talk to me about hops on Instagram, because I am Love Beer Learning over there. I'm also on Facebook, but you're probably going to find me on Instagram. You can come to my website, which has probably got some bits about hops on it as well, and that is lovebeerlearning.co.uk, or you can email me about hops at lovebeerlearning@gmail.com. Well, I have
my beer's gone, so
mine too. I've got the beer with Olly as a monk on it. This is the wit beer.
I've got,
and I love it.
Delulu as the Salulu, because that's how I'm feeling.
Our faves beers. Cheers.
Cheers.